So now time to affix our button to the lid of our Sporran. And again, I just kind of made some thin cordage. This is, and I like a rustic look and feel. Too much for this type of project. Too much finish and polish, I don't know, for me kind of defeats the purpose. So that's why we drilled the holes, and now it's a whole button, but we have the single hole that goes right here on the lid of the Sporran. I have a bead that could be anything, or just a big old knot. We'll see what happens. Maybe we just make a big old knot and we don't need a bead, but there's many options, many ways to tackle this sort of project. So what I'm going to do is take our cordage here, put them together, and feed them through our hole. Pretty much easy peasy, hopefully, while the camera is rolling. You know, when I'm not trying to do something and nobody's looking, I'm the coolest kid in the world. But when the camera's rolling, it's like, what happened? So there we go. So we got this in there. Now what we don't want to do is make it too tight, right? We want to have some play, because we got to remember that the whole purpose of this is so that the bottom part loops up and can be caught by the bottom loop, and that's how it closes. Okay, so functionally, you know, it's working. Our closing system is working, right? But we will have to close this off, and I think and I want to just enough play in it so that our locking mechanism can hook onto our button. Okay, so all I'm going to do, really, I don't really need this bead, which I have, so we can discard that or put it back in the craft box. All I'm going to do is really just make just a double overhand knot and leave it be, so it doesn't come through if tugged real hard. So this is just a double overhand knot like that. And I can pull, make sure there's plenty of give here. Yeah, there's some give. There's some give. Because what's locked in place is locked in place. So we did a double overhand knot, and mind you, my leather is a little bit wet. I did dampen it before I even threaded it through our button. And then I'm just do one more, just so it locks. And then I'm going to snip these dangly bits off. Alright, so we're just making a knot here so that our button doesn't pull through. And, you know, again, I could leave the dangly bits. This may be confusing for a decorative motif or something like that, but I'm just going to snip these short, and like so, like that, and then probably save these for later. But there you have it. Now we have our button. Okay, it's not again, this is not an exact replica, but the concept is the same, and it could be done with any sort of whatever you think, right? And then this will just hook on like so. So this would just hook on, you know, like so. You just kind of feed things through, and then boom, and then now it's locked and closed. So essentially, and I'm happy with it. This is, because we created, or we added the belt loops in the back, right? This Sporran, as far as I'm concerned, could be very well finished, right? It's got a latch, it covers, we have a drawstring, we have drawstrings, and we have a belt loop. So this is pretty much you know, ready to go as far as, you know, usable tool. But I want to try to stay true to the actual model that I chose. So we will have 2 more components that we must make, and that is the belt. All right, and lastly, that will be the tassels. All right, and again, I'm not going to do the exact same tassels. I'm not quite sure how those are done, but I know how to make tassels. I'll do something similar. So let's continue forward. But right now, as it stands, this is pretty much a done piece, you know, as far as usability is concerned, right? So yeah, let's just keep on going.
So for the most part, here's a finished usable Sporran. Again, inspired by this piece here from Pinterest. And it's 2D, so again, there's elements I'm missing, but it works, and it turned out pretty good, I think. So we're 95% done with it. Again, because of the belt loops here, I could certainly wear this right now if I wanted to, but I want to complete it according to our model. So anyways, in our model pictures here, there's a belt configuration. That's what the ears were for, to holding these are D rings, it looks like, or what we have is rectangle rings. I didn't have any small enough D rings. So what we're gonna do is create the belt. And I happen to have all the hardware that I need, and Tandy Leather happens to have pre-made belt straps that you can buy. Instead of buying like a whole side of veggie tan leather, which is a few yards long, it's pretty big. You know, when I was producing, you know, commercially, I would buy a whole side of that, and that would be enough to make however many items at that time. And you can certainly make your own straps, and even if you have shorter pieces, there's ways you can kind of splice the shorter pieces together to make a longer piece. I've done that too, but yeah, I just wanted to shortcut it, and I happen to have this around as well. I've got these handy clasps. They're called trigger snaps. I have a few belt buckles, and then I've got, this time, at least in the color of black or dark, I have a bunch of these rivets, so shouldn't run out of the rivets. I don't want to use up all my other screw rivets, but although I could fall back on that if I needed to. So this is long enough to fit my girth, but it doesn't need to, because again, the sporrans tend to kind of droop or just kind of hang in front of the groin region. So this doesn't have to be exacting, but that's why we will make the buckle, so we can adjust it depending on, you know, what I'm wearing, or how high I want to wear it, or how low I want it to hang, etc., etc. So anyways, let's get started. So first things first, these straps that they sell commercially come with some tags and things like that on there. I peeled the tags off, and then they have like a hanging hook, because when they're in the store they hang up like that. We want to get rid of that. We can't really, no, my rivets are too small, so we can't, this hole is too big for the rivets, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of this piece here, and we're going to just cut that off.